Back to Bayou Time, 879-1231 if you'd like to get involved. As you can see, we're taping live here on Thursday night. The graphic will show up on the screen after we give you this advisory. You know, before we take the next couple of phone calls, just wanted to bring you up to date only because we, do keep you posted on hurricanes and tropical developments. Again, Hurricane Irene not going to be a threat to us here in Louisiana. There you see the positioning of the storm, and it's going to be headed up towards, the East Coast all the way through Sunday. So, of course, you'll hear a lot of national media on it because it may affect the East Coast, as we had one of the callers earlier talking about how it'll be interesting to see. We don't want to wish any flooding on anybody, but if they do experience flooding in New York, what that may do towards, the flooding issues we have down here, whether that'll bring it to the forefront nationally and people understand more what we're going through, and or will they just take the money away from us? So it's an interesting story and development to follow. As we know, they had the earthquake on the East Coast this week, and now it looks like they're going to be hit with the hurricane. So just wanted to bring that up to speed for everyone out there, and we'll now go to the phone lines. Hello, welcome to Bayou Time. Thank you for holding.
Jason, I want to clear something up.
Well, I'm gonna put you on hold because we've already spoke with you, and let me take these other calls before I get to you. So hold on. I just want to make sure I get to everybody. Hello, welcome to Bayou Time.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air live. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling in reference to that little boy got raped at Burger King.
All right.
I raised a bunch of boys myself, and there wasn't no way in hell. Now, my kids would say, I don't need your help in the bathroom, and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to tell you what. If that would have been one of my kids, 12 to 18 years old, they'd have been raising hell so much in that bathroom, everybody would have come running. I mean, what kind of kid you have that can't yell out or kick the wall or fight back or do anything,
Well, look, I understand. We would hope we would all educate our children how to act in that in that type of situation. But look, we don't know about this child. Okay. I don't know it.
Right.
You don't know it. I don't know what the situation was. I don't know what the maturity level of that child is. Yeah. So I think we need to be careful before we start accusing people of how they were parenting, because we don't know about this situation. So,
you're right.
All right. I just want to be a little careful about those things.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna tell you what. I mean, hey, I was a kid myself, and if anybody would ever try something like that, I'd have been still hauling my lungs out. I mean, something went on in there that we don't know nothing about. When that trial will come around, then you're going to... Now, you don't know if that guy was holding him down, holding his mouth down. You don't know nothing about it.
No, we don't. We don't know what happened. We don't know if he was threatened with a knife. We don't know if he was threatened with a gun. We don't know. We don't know if he wasn't threatened at all. We just don't know. So
that's right.
Before we can accuse people of certain things,
stuff like that happens every day, man. I mean... You just don't hear about it, but I'm telling you, it goes on. This is 2011.
And that's scary.
And I tell you what, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You can be prepared. Something will happen. Look, let me tell you something. That little kid that got his head cut off out there in Thibodeau, that was one of the saddest things I ever heard in my life. You know what I mean? Me. I'm the kind of person, if you need a volunteer to go pull a switch, I'll pull a switch. I'll volunteer right now, And as far as that kid getting raped, let me tell you something. They got two sides to every story, like that lady said the other day, And, I mean, I know some 13-year-old kids are strong. They're big. They're bigger than me. I mean, they're strong, and they can do a lot of damage, Now, I don't say that he wasn't raped, and I don't say that, that the guy...
All we can say is, if it happened as it's been reported, we can all agree that it's wrong and it's horrible.
That's right. It's a terrible thing, yeah.
Thank you for the call.
Yeah, amen. Thank you.
All right, appreciate the call. Let me take the next caller. Hello, welcome to Bayou Time.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
How you doing?
Doing okay.
To me, my opinion, I do not blame the parent.
Okay.
I blame that sick man that did that to that child. He must have been a pedophile before to do that to that child.
Okay. You know, one would... Go ahead.
It's happening every day in homes that we don't even know of.
That's right, because oftentimes children are afraid to come forth and let people know what happened to them, because unfortunately a lot of times when we do hear of these incidents, it's usually somebody that they know that perpetrates on them, and that's what's really heart-wrenching. And it takes the child a while to come forward.
Yes, just like I was molested as a child, and it took me years to come out with it.
And I can assume that's something that still affects you and haunts you to this day. And it's not easy for you to talk about. Yeah.
And I hope this child gets a lot of counseling, and his parents get counseling. And I hope the man that does that gets punished so bad that he's, when he does wind up in a prison, that they do it to him.
Thank you for the call.
What he did to that child.
Thank you for the call and sharing this. I know it's not easy for you to share that what happened to you. I know it's got to be difficult for you.
Yes, sir, it is. And I feel sorry for that child.
Thank you.
Having a good night.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Hello, welcome to Bayou Time.
Okay.
Yeah. You're on the air?
I'm on there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
All right.
Look, you were saying the right thing about not blaming that mama.
Okay.
Because you can't watch a child every place, but that man, somebody needs to pile up a big red ant pile and just sit him in there and hold him there with coal tar and not let him see daylight again. Because he don't deserve to live.
Okay.
Him and that other guy, too, that chopped that poor little man his head off, the little boy. That's a sad situation. At my age, I ain't never heard nothing like that, but I could take somebody like that and hurt him good myself. But that little boy that got raped, I don't blame them people at all, the mama, because you can't watch a little 13-year-old boy every minute, every second.
Right.
And they need to do something about it. Get about 10 women or 12 women and pile up a bunch of red ants and just sit him in there, and he'd have to stay in there in some hot cold tar, and I bet he'd never want to do that again.
All right. Maybe other people wouldn't want to do it again after they see what happens either.
That's right. That's another thing.
Might be a true deterrent.
I hate to sound so mean, but hell, I mean, things is getting too bad around. People got to do something about it. They're going to have to get involved and just take that man and hurt him bad, and I could be number one.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
All right. So we have a lot of people out there that are disgusted by the acts, and I could understand that. Hello, welcome to Bayou Time.
Jason, I didn't accuse that woman.
Didn't accuse that woman.
Yeah, you keep telling the public that it's wrong that a caller should accuse that woman. I never accused that woman of anything.
I believe on Tuesday night you insinuated, and again you insinuated tonight. You're right. You didn't come out and say I accused this woman of bad parenting, but you put forth analogies that said what they did was wrong because you wouldn't do this in this type of situation.
I pointed out that not everybody has the same parenting skills, and there's several callers that called in and demonstrated my point. I did not accuse that woman. I know it, you know it, and everybody out there in the public knows it. So I want you to stop saying that I accused that woman. I did not accuse that woman.
Well, I'm glad now that I'm glad that we now see eye to eye. And if I misinterpreted what you said, I apologize. But I took, based on those comments that you were making, that you thought that the parents did something wrong in this situation, and I disagree with that.
All parents do not parent the same. I was pointing out the differences, and everybody knows the differences that I was pointing out. That children, if They can travel in pairs. It's safer. There's a woman that called in, and she said that when her child goes to the bathroom, she has a visual on the bathroom. I also believe that you can get a clue to how long a child has been, how much time he's been using going to the bathroom, and when he exceeds that amount of time, somebody needs to check on that
So
child.
what are you saying, that the parents in this situation didn't do the right thing?
I'm saying that now that everybody knows that there are monsters in the bathroom, are we thinking differently now?
But you didn't
should
say,
be.
well, if that's what you meant, then I agree with you. But that's not how I interpreted what you said. I must have misinterpreted what you said. But if that's what you're saying and if that's what you mean, then I agree with you. Thank you for the call.
I'm doing nothing less than anybody else. They're pointing out the differences and what they would do. Just because my opinion and my parenting skills are different than someone else's doesn't mean I'm accusing anybody of anything.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I'll hear from you next Tuesday, undoubtedly. Let's go to the next caller. I want to give everybody the opportunity to speak tonight. Hello, welcome to Bayou Time.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, how y'all doing today?
We're doing okay.
I had a couple of comments.
Go ahead, please.
In regard to the Burger King bathroom episode.
Yeah.
A 12-year-old kid is plenty old enough to go to the bathroom unescorted.
Okay.
Perverts do exist. And we are so politically correct that we've discontinued calling them perverts. And we've discontinued culling them out of society. That's number one. If that happened, and whatever happened. And number two, about the LSU quarterback.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and I've thought about it. But I bet you that if all those kids would have been members of the debate team, none of this would have ever happened.
You mean the investigation would have?
I don't think it would have ever come to the light of day. And the reason for that is, I can almost assure you that the reason all this investigation is happening is not because of a criminal act. It's because everyone now involved is anticipating civil suit. And it's going to be against LSU, and it's going to be against the athletic department and everyone else concerned. Otherwise, if it had been run-of-the-mill students, academics, this wouldn't have even seen the light of day.
Yeah, I doubt if you would have seen them taking DNA swabs from like you mentioned, an engineering student if he was involved in a bar fight.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And this is a product of our society. And further than that, if you look at the cuts that our governor and other governors across the country, not just in Louisiana. If you look at the cuts they've made, and I'm all for cutting. I think cutting is a great thing. I think you need to cut what you spend and save more money and whatever, so on and so forth. What is the debate now? But the problem is that this governor, like any other governor, is cutting education, but they're not cutting sports. And I think sports has a bigger presence in what you're supposed to be going to school for anyway. And I think LSU having deep pockets is eventually going to be having a civil suit on their hands.
Okay.
And that's just my opinion. And we're letting political correctness eat our lunch, so to speak. Right. And as far as the guy in the bathroom, he just needs to be culled. That's period.
I tend to agree with you. Thank you very much for the call.
All right.
All right. I'm sorry. My producer was trying to tell me something. What's that? Okay. All right. With that, that's all the callers we have tonight. I appreciate it. I was trying to get to everyone. That's why I had, tried to get past the caller who called in twice before. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all the callers tonight. We'll try to get, more with you calls next week here on Bayou Time. We're going to turn things over now to Stan Garavois. It's about 7:40, so it's time for sports on Bayou Time, and that's coming up next.